The funny thing about sacrifice is we as human beings say, okay, I have an hour of my day, that's what I'm going to give. And God takes that and goes, no, you're going to give so much more.
We lived in Cranford, New Jersey, lived in a nice neighborhood. My sister lived across the street. Neighborhoods were very safe to walk around. A lot of times you didn't worry about locking the house. You left your bikes out, not a big deal.
We pictured our life there till, we moved out of the house and went to college, and it was great. We loved it in Cranford.
I started out my career as a marine biologist and then moved on to software engineering. Karen was vice president level of Fortune 500 companies.
We really prayed, Lord, to use us, and then God took us seriously and did. We had started attending a church that was in the inner city, and when we first started, we'd drive in and roll up the windows and lock the doors and, kept the girls right with us.
And it is violent. I mean, there's drug addiction, prostitution, mental illness, homelessness, beatings, thefts. Sexual abuse is very big on the street.
And then slowly but surely, God kept giving us a greater heart for the city and the people in it.
We were running Streetlight Church, and then a little time after that, we started the mission. We realized that to make a difference in their life and introduce them to God, you had to journey with them. So we just started coming in more and more, and then God decided then to transition us into the city. He told us to sell our house in Cranford and move into the inner city.
Probably the biggest struggle was that of our daughters. The Lord literally told us, like Abraham, to lie our daughters on the altar. And God was so good through this. He spoke to us every step of the way. And he said, your daughters are not going to be happy with where you're going.
When our parents first told us, I think we didn't speak to them for a couple weeks. I felt betrayed because I felt like, when we read our Bible lessons, God always said, He'll give us the desires of our heart, and we were sacrificing for Him by going and doing these things that a lot of our friends weren't. They weren't taking a Saturday and going and giving soup to people, and so I thought God would honor that, but instead He was like, no, let's move to Elizabeth. Let's give up everything that you have. We were devastated by it.
It took me probably a year to 18 months to fully adjust. I mean, I used to tell my mom, I still dream that we're home. Like, my home in my dreams is in Cranford, not in Elizabeth.
Becky and I started doing children's church on Sunday nights. I remember one Sunday we planned a lesson that was, okay, we're going to teach about how God is their Father and how great it is to have that father relationship with Him. And as we're teaching it, Becky and I are looking around the room and going, okay, none of these kids have their fathers. So us talking about God as a father figure is saying that God will abandon them, that God will leave them, that God will, forsake them. And God is none of that. And so we had to completely change our thinking and go, wait a minute, these kids don't have what we had. They didn't have the parents who love them to the extent that our parents do. So we're the ones who are going to show them that love. And that was when it clicked for me, and I think for Beck as well, that, okay, God did bring us here for a reason. It's to just show them that God loves them through the love that we can give them. And then it was kind of like a light switch went on, like, okay, maybe I know why we're here.
We sacrificed not only a physical location in a house and being near to our friends, but just our livelihood and who we thought we were. But in return, it wasn't as immediate, but we're seeing the blessings of that now. God has given us so much. We aren't the people that we would be if we didn't come here. And we didn't see it at the time, but God does have a plan and a purpose. Every aspect shaped us into who we are now, and that makes the sacrifice worth it.